To find the volume, we're going to use the formula volume equals area of the base times the height of the prism. And when we look at the base, almost if we were to tip it over, we might see something like this. We need to consider how to find the area of that in order to proceed with the formula. So I know, well, one way to approach this is that I can figure out the dimensions of this whole rectangle, and then maybe I can figure out this rectangle and subtract it. So that's the way that I'm going to approach the problem. I know that it's 6 yards across the entire distance, and I know that it's 4 yards this way. So that would give me the information I need to find the area of the entire rectangle as if it were whole. From here, what I need then are the dimensions of this smaller rectangle. And I have some information in the problem itself. For example, I know right here, I can see that this is 1 1/3 yards long. And then the question is, how can I figure out this dimension? So I noticed in the picture that I have 1 yard labeled here and 3 yards labeled here. So that's 4 yards total, and there are 6 in the entire shape. So this gives me 2 yards as the other dimension. Let's see what happens when I put all these numbers into the problem itself. So in this part, I'm really just finding the area of the base, so that's all this space here, right? And this is the larger rectangle. This is how we're going to find the area of the piece that we're cutting out. And when we do all of this work here, we end up with an area of the base of 21 1/3 yards squared. So I'm not done yet. So all of this work here was just to help me figure out the area of the base, but I need to multiply it by the height of the prism. So when I look at the shape itself, I realize that the height of the prism is given to me right there. It's 2/3, so I'm going to multiply that. Let's look at that calculation all together. So we have the 21 1/3 yards, that's the area of the base, multiplying it by the height of the prism, which is 2/3 yards. And when I do all of that calculation, I end up with a volume of 14 2/9 cubic yards, and that's the volume of this shape.